That was the last one, 25. What's 26? 26 is the next one, right?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances always to Shri Prabhupada. So Guru Maharaj is going to continue with the series of Kunti prayers, where today we are going to go to the verse 1.8.26. Guru Maharaj, please take over. Thank you.
So, first by Queen Kunti. This is chapter 8 of the first canto, verse 26. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmaishwara Sruta Sribir Ekyamanam Madam Pumam Naivahatya Vivadatum Vai Tvamakinchana Gocharam. My Lord, your lordships can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty cannot approach you with sincere feelings. I'll read again. My Lord, your lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty cannot approach you with sincere feelings. Being materially advanced means taking birth in an aristocratic family and possessing great wealth, an education, and attractive personal beauty. All materialistic men are mad after possessing all these material opulences, and this is known as the advancement of material civilization. But the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up, intoxicated by such temporary possessions. Consequently, such materially puffed up persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord by addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna. And it is said in the Shastras that by once uttering the holy name of the Lord, the sinner gets rid of a quantity of sin that he is unable to commit. Such is the power of uttering the holy name of the Lord. This is not the least exaggeration in this statement. Actually, the Lord's holy name has such powerful potency, but there is such a quality of such utterances also. It depends on the quality of feeling. A helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. A materially puffed up person may utter the holy name of the Lord occasionally, but he is incapable of uttering the name in quality. Excuse me. Therefore, the four principles of material advancement, namely high parentage, good wealth, high education, attractive beauty, are, so to speak, disqualifications for progress on the path of spiritual advancement. Material coverings of the pure spirit soul is an external feature, as much as fever is an external feature of the unhealthy body. The general process is to decrease the degree of the fever and not to aggravate it by maltreatment. Sometimes it is seen that the spiritually advanced persons become materially impoverished. This is no discouragement. On the other hand, such impoverishment is a good sign as much as the falling of temperature of the fever is a good sign. The principle of life should be to decrease the degree of material intoxication, which leads one to be more and more illusioned about the aim of life. Grossly illusioned persons are quite unfit for entrance into the kingdom of God. Om Gyantimidandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksuunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Bhutale Shri Bhakti Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachaline Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya De Satarine Vanchakalpatu Vischa Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Akinchana Gochara, one who is materially impoverished. The one has no material crutch to lean on. One who has simply absorbed in devotional life. Here, it's quite almost contradictory because in the realm of pious activities, which also includes the merits one gets from previous devotional service, one gains these material benefits such as good wealth, education, physical beauty, good family birth. They come because people have somehow in their previous life executed devotional service, and therefore they are allowed to take birth in a developed material family. Suchinam simatam digehe yoga brasta prajayate. But their brasta, yoga means brasta means they've fallen from the position of devotional service in the previous life, and now they come back in a good material arrangement. But here, if one becomes attached to these things and doesn't see them simply as opportunities to serve the Lord, takes them for their own gratification, then one becomes an offender. Offender in the sense that one cannot utter the holy name of the Lord. Here it says that they can't, because of their material, puffed up attitude, due to having gained material possessions such as wealth and good learning, bodily beauty, like that, good family. They can't somehow or other call out to the Lord with feeling. It's not possible. I said, a helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. And so, actually, this is good. And sometimes Krishna says that he takes everything away from his devotee in order to leave him with nothing but himself. And then the man's reputation and all of the surroundings that support his reputation become just like useless. One feels useless, doesn't see any way out of one's limitation. And because of that, they can't utter the holy name, or they can't call out with good feeling. So if Krishna takes everything away from a devotee, it's actually for the devotee's benefit. Then they can feelingly call out to Krishna, Krishna, help. So otherwise one becomes, as Prabhupada said, artificially puffed up by material things. So out of all of these material things that one becomes puffed up by, wealth is the most powerful and the most binding of all of them. And so one has to use whatever Krishna gives in devotional service. Otherwise, one will simply think, well, I have my money, I have my family, I have my, security. I'm fine. What do I need God for? God is for those who are materially weak, those who are impoverished, those who are proud. So this is a very important verse because, as is explained in this verse, when one takes birth, due to pious activities in previous life, one gains these particular boons: beauty, education, wealth, good family. But now one has to see these are simply gifts of the Supreme Lord. And one should understand that to have these things is nice, but to become dependent on them or to use them for one's own selfish interest, then one becomes more and more entangled in the network of material life and can't see how to get out of this material life. So this is, and therefore Prabhupada used to say, he quoted one verse from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, said that if Krishna favors someone, he gives him everything. And if he really favors one, he takes everything away. Sometimes we see here people who are quite well-to-do materially, and they lose a large portion of that, and then their status within society goes down. It makes them humble. These people are really candidates for devotional service. Okay, so let's see.
Krishna Maharaj, shall we stop here and have a little discussion on this?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm more in the mood of discussion.
Yes,
I've been going all day since yesterday, continuously almost, and I'm a little bit uh, tired. So what we can do
Yes,
is
good.
just open it up for discussion. It would be more, but I think I hit on the essence of the particular verse. So,
Yes,
and Prabhupada speaks about the Kinchana Gotra, materially impoverished. And we see in people who are in those categories, they're in need and they know they're in need. So when they come to the Lord and call out, not to fulfill their needs, but just to look shelter from the Lord to free themselves from the suffering due to their material condition, they can actually be fixed in service to the Lord because they develop a emotional attitude. And it explains that out of all of the different material benefits, wealth is the most binding because wealth makes you think that you have achieved everything. And then you can use your wealth to buy people, buy different situations, influence governments. Wealth has such power because everything centers around wealth. The more wealth you have, the more you're respected within society as someone who is important, but not according to Vedic culture.
yes, Guru Maharaj. Yeah. So, dear devotees, Guru Maharaj gave such a nice um, overview on this particular purport. I request devotees, if you have any questions or comments or realizations, please go ahead. And it would be very nice if you can switch on your cameras. We can all see you. Sridevi Mataji, you want to start asking? Mataji, you're on mute, Mataji.
Oh, thank you, Srimati. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for today's lecture. It is on this very point that I have a question, because there are so many people in India who will say that we don't want to take to devotional service because this Hari, he takes everything away from you. He will take everything away from you if you worship Krishna. So better not to take up devotional service. So what do we say to such people?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Was I audible, Srimati? Was I still on mute?
No. You were audible. Guru
Right.
Maharaj is very tired. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
I'm waiting for questions. What's the,
Yeah,
what's your question?
Sridevi
What's the
Mataji.
question?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, my question is this, that it is on this very point that people say we should, Lord Hari is one who takes everything away. Especially in India, they say, no, we should not worship Krishna because he will take everything away from you. So what should we say to such people? That's my question.
I think Guru Maharaj is very tired and
No, it's a fact. What can you say to them? Well, taking away, if a child is playing with fire and you take the fire away and give him a lollipop, isn't that better? Replacing something inferior with something supremely superior. That's all. It's better, much better.
Yes, Guru
So,
Maharaj.
yeah, if we're not convinced about that, how are we going to convince others?
True. Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for pointing that out.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. So, Guru Maharaj, will you be able to take more questions or?
I'm just, I just finished I took breakfast about 5 minutes ago, so, which was just,
If you are,
I
if you are
took
not,
breakfast,
if you are not,
at 12 o'clock.
if you are feeling very tired, we can end the call here and we can take the discussion tomorrow also. Guru Maharaj, if it is okay, I can end the call.
Well, let's see if there's any more questions. If not, we can end.
Sure, Guru Maharaj. Yeah. Dear devotees, if you have questions, please.
I can answer questions, but there's a question there.
No, Guru Maharaj. Yeah, Devanand Pandit Prabhuji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, glories to Srila Prabhupada. My question is, I heard that Srila Prabhupada said that Lord Chaitanya is more merciful than Lord Krishna. But we know of many examples where Lord Chaitanya rejected his devotees for minor offenses, while Lord Krishna and Lord Rama always take under the protection of the souls who surrendered to them. Can you clarify this topic?
It appears they've been rejected, just like Chota Haridas.
Yes.
Yeah, but he was after he committed suicide, he was associating with Lord Chaitanya on the spiritual platform. Every night he would come and sing to Lord Chaitanya. The Lord Chaitanya wanted to use him as an example how one should be very careful in a renounced order about associating with women. Lord Chaitanya used his followers to make points. He taught the importance of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra by Srila Haridas Thakur. He taught humility with Sanatan Goswami. He taught, he taught Dhira through Ramananda Roy. In other words, Lord Chaitanya was always trying to teach us and the rest of the world many valuable spiritual points, principles, and he uses his devotees to do that. He never rejected anybody. He just apparently put them in a different situation. That's all.
Very cruel situation. Very cruel situations, it seems to me. Very cruel situation. Cruel situations. He put in the cruel situations.
That's from your point of view. That's your point of view.
Yeah, cruel.
No,
cruel situations.
I don't agree with that. That's what you say. I don't agree with that. And everybody and the acharyas don't also agree with that. And he took them to a higher level of relationship, apparently by cutting off their Who else can you think of other than Srila Hari to Choudhary Haridas? Who else are you thinking of? Just Choudhary Haridas. Lord Chaitanya was very strict about sannyasa, order of life. And so he wanted to make that point. But if you read the whole story, you'll find that Choudhary Haridas was singing to the Lord every day, every night. He would come and associate with the Lord and sing to him after he left his body. The Lord is never cruel. If you think the Lord is cruel, then you don't understand God. God is always kind. Even when he kills the demons, he's kind. Because he gives them liberation. You put cruelty on God, and ultimately you don't understand God at all. He's not. What apparently looks like something cruel from our point of view is actually elevating that soul to a higher position. And his devotees accept that. They can accept whatever punishment he gives out as a way to please the Lord. God is never
Choudhary
cruel.
Haridas suffered too much.
Materially, if you put God in a material category, you can find good and bad. If you understand spiritual principles, you understand that he uses apparently harsh treatment or hard treatment in order to elevate the soul. It's like here, it says Prabhupada said he took everything away from me. The Lord took everything away from me, but now he gave me something better. So he might take something away, but he replaces it with himself or with a higher standard of spiritual realization. Because we still see things in a material way, we put God in the same category. He doesn't apply to our material definitions. But everything he does is good. It's for the benefit of the soul.
Is it okay, Devanand Pandit Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Mataji, you want to go ahead? Sridevi Mataji.
Yes. So Guru Maharaj, every single moment, Krishna is arranging for us to come closer to him. So whatever is happening, good, bad, ugly, harsh, mean, cruel, this, that, whatever it is actually being arranged by the Lord for our purification. Should we take it like that?
Well, sometimes we put ourselves in these difficult situations. We can't blame the Lord for putting it in. Well, we can use that situation to become more Krishna conscious. There's the benefit. He doesn't necessarily put us in that situation. Sometimes he does, but that's not a regular thing. He does that just to teach the glories of that particular soul, how that soul will accept difficulties and still remain faithful in their execution of devotional service. He does that with certain persons, but as a general principle, we put ourselves in these difficult situations materially because of our material desires. But we can use that to become more dependent on Krishna, to call out to Krishna. Just like this, last 2 years, there've been some, difficult times, lockdowns and restrictions, and deaths, and so many different things. But all in all, the devotee society actually is increasing through all of these difficulties. Why? Because they find different ways to serve the Lord and become more dependent on the mercy of the Lord. That's why this verse says one who is still dependent on these material things and becomes proud because of these cannot call out the Lord with feeling, cannot chant the holy names with devotion.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for pointing that out.
So we pray to Krishna now. Please take everything away before it's too late. Well, if you're still hanging on at the time of death, then you missed the boat.
So, Guru Maharaj, I have a question. So now a lot of other new neophyte devotees, they come into Krishna consciousness, but they still have a lot of material aspirations, and they want more material possessions. They want to acquire more things. So they don't want to deeply go into Krishna consciousness. They just say, okay, we are chanting, we are hearing, but we have a lot of other things to do. Like I have to earn more money, I have to build a house, I want one more car. Like this, they have more material desires too, Guru Maharaj. So will they get any chance to go into deeply into Krishna consciousness? Like, is there their own endeavor, or Krishna will arrange somehow them to go in deeply into Krishna consciousness?
One of the principles that makes Krishna consciousness easily executable is the principle of simplicity. One who lives beyond their means has a more harder time to execute devotional service. Therefore, it says that one should Ishavasham idam sarvam Yat kinchat jagam tat jagat tena jaktena bundi jahamagridaha kashiswadanam. Everything owned and controlled, everything animate and inanimate is owned and controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one should take their quota. That's the first verse in Sri Ishopanishads. So quota means what do I need to keep body and soul together to live nicely. If I live in a family situation, obviously we need a house, some transportation, and some money in the bank for emergencies. All of these are acceptable, but if one is still trying to build their material empire by getting more and more of these things, then it's just, then one cannot actually execute devotional service. So therefore it says one should just endeavor for whatever we need to keep body and soul together and spend the rest of our time in devotional activities. That's all. Our material life should be minimized to what is actually necessary. That makes spiritual life favorable. But if we want to get the latest of everything, then we find it very difficult to chant, to read, to associate. So learn the process of simplicity by understanding what do you need to keep body and soul together? In other words, food is necessary. If there's children, there's necessities in that area. If there's a house, so all these things can fit in nicely in devotional service. But if we think, well, I need a house at the shore, I need a house in one in Dallas, I need one in India, I need one in where else? I need one in where else? Where's
Mayapur Dham.
in Mayapur Dham, yeah. So many, and I have to have a car in each place, so I don't have to, rent one when I get there. So we get so entangled and trying to solidify and fortify our material needs that actually becomes beyond what's actually necessary. And then one of the things that gets sacrificed is time. Time that we could be spending in devotional service is simply because the more things you have, the more you have to maintain them also.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, yeah. So usually, sometimes they say that if we are in we have material problems, we can't do devotional service perfectly or nicely in whatever way. So first, our mind has to be clear. First, we have to settle down in some way, in some whatever way we think. Then only we can perform devotional service nicely. That's what they say. So what should we tell them, Guru Maharaj, at this time?
Well, yeah, it's the same answer, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
Mm.
We shouldn't try to keep up with the pace of the Western, economy. They're always trying to sell you more. They're always trying to create desires to have things that you don't have or you don't really need. That's Western civilization. They have people who are expert in understanding people's spending power, and then they bombard them with all kinds of advertisement to buy all kinds of goods, which are not necessary. So it's hard to live simply if you're living outside of a devotee community, but when you live in a devotee community, then it's much easier and natural. When is the when is the prasadam available?
So one of the break come around 1 month.
Can you get back here before 1:30?
No, we'll bring it.
We'll bring it.
Yeah, I'll just arrange. So we are Prashant was going to bring it here. So I can give you.
Right. I have to take a half-hour rest. Okay, so they say the golden mean that means not too much, not too little. And for not too much and not too little might be different from each individual, each family. But one has to find that medium by which one can work nicely, fulfill all the material needs, and at the same time, have enough time for hearing and chanting and associating with devotees. You have to see, are you making progress spiritually? If you feel like you're not, and then you have to see, maybe I'm spending too much time in my material life. If you feel like you're making nice progress spiritually, then continue.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Dear devotees, if you have any more questions or comments, you can go ahead. I don't think any more questions we have, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, so we can end here.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, sure. Thank you so much
Okay.
once again, Guru Maharaj, for your time and association. And I forgot to mention congratulations to all the devotees who got initiated today, first initiation and second initiation. They are not on the call, but I think they'll listen to the recording and get their wishes. And also we have sent their wishes to all the devotees in our WhatsApp group also. So thank you so much.
Last week we initiated Marco into, he is now Harinam Ruchi, and Bhakti Philip is now Prema Bhakti.
Hari Bol. Very nice name, Guru Maharaj. Prema Bhakti. Prabhuji ki jai.
Okay. Anybody online want sannyas? No? Nobody.
Here, Guru Maharaj, here.
Okay. All right. Sri Devi Maharani now. Okay.
No, Guru Maharaj. I don't want any titles. I just want to preach, travel and preach. That's it.
Continue. The devotees are becoming benefited by your preaching. Continue as much as you can do. It's really inspiring to see, and it's also benefiting many people. So continue.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I don't know about others benefiting, honestly, but I'm benefiting. So I'm very happy for your mercy and your empowerment and your constant chastisement and all the things that you have given me for 20 years. Now it's time for me to give it back in some small way to everyone. I'm indebted to you for all that you have given me, and I have to do something now to help others.
Thank you. Okay, my obeisances to all devotees. Vanchakalpatarubhascha.
Vaishnavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you.